Buzzy, what about this? Great day at the Sydney Cricket Ground yesterday, Wednesday. Hall of Fame induction. Two of the greats of rugby league. George Piggins, long overdue, and you could say the same for the next guy. Ian Heads, legendary journalist.
Yeah, it's not often you attend a rugby league function where there's such warmth in the room. It was a really, really... And I want to give the Commission and Andrew Rabbitohs a rap here. They found that they were told that Ian Heads and the great George Piggins were not in good health. And so they decided to fast-track their inductions, and both so worthy of this honour. I'll just tell you, I started my cadetship under Ian Heads when he was Chief Rugby League writer at this newspaper. The assistance he gave me and other young rugby league journalists at the time was just extraordinary. I remember on Teams nights on Tuesday, there was no internet, no mobile phones, nothing. So everyone bought Wednesday's paper to find out who the teams were. And being a kid, the coach, you could only get it from the coaches, and they wouldn't always come to the phone for me. So Harry Barth, the great Dragons coach, every Tuesday used to drink at Hurstville Bowling Club. So I'd ring and page him, and he'd never come to the phone because he'd always ask. So Headsy said, "Tell him it's me." Ian did. So within 10 seconds of ringing Hurstville, he'd come to the phone, and I'd have to say, "Oh, sorry, Harry, Ian's just had to go to the bathroom. He's asked me to get the team." And I did that with all. He was such an assistant, taught me, we needed a lot of help in those days. We didn't have uni degrees. We came in straight out of school, and there was never a better mentor.
I spoke to you about him yesterday, Buzz, just to pick your brain. And one thing that you said to me, which stuck, was you don't feel like there was a person in the game's history that had a better relationship with players.
No, and that's right, because he had trust, he had respect, and they were the days before player managers, media bands. We used to go in after the game, sit with a player, have a beer. And
yeah.
Mick Cronin spoke beautifully about that
yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, about his relationship with Headsy. And, they were good days, but, the world's gone professional. Social media's there, and things are a little bit nasty, which is a shame, but... mind you, there's still some good guys and there's still some great relationships, player, media these days, but just not like it used to be when Ian was the chief writer on this paper. And of course, George Piggins. And that was an interesting one because George was probably at just a fraction short of being inducted as a player or a coach, even though he was Dally M coach and a great hooker, played for Australia, played a lot of reserve grade though. So he entered the Hall of Fame as a contributor, as a player, coach, but mostly as the man who saved the Rabbitohs, which was a really smart thing for the NRL to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Isn't it funny just thinking back to that? It seems almost surreal that there was 100,000 people marching to Town Hall, to City Hall
incredible story
for this, and seeing Nolene, how emotional she was yesterday as well, the contribution from both of them, and the emotional toll that it took on both George and Nolene over those years, and guys like Tugger Coleman and Braithen Astor.
How good was his speech? And something special that he raised? We all know they're a really special Indigenous club with Cody and Latrell, but what I didn't know is George appointed the first ever Indigenous person to a rugby league club board back in those days. Spoke about the footballers that came through under his coaching who were Indigenous boys. So he was really, really passionate about long before, today's team. And it was, what a contributor. And George Ian Heads wasn't well enough to be there, but George was there. It was a long, tough day for him. And but my goodness, it was and the fact they did to the cricket ground, Mobsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.